McGuire's psychological motives was proposed by William J. McGuire, and he divides motivation into four main categories based on two criteria. The first one is whether it is cognitive motive or affective motive, whether it is preservation motive or the growth motives. Cognitive motives focus on person's need for maintaining a coherent and the organized view of the world in order to achieve a sense of meaning. And if you look at the other hand, affective motives deal with the need to reduce any tension and to accomplish or to satisfy and achieve personal growth. And next we have preservation motive. Preservation oriented motives focus on trying to maintain a balance and growth motives, and it relates to personal development. These four principal categories are further subdivided on the basis of motivation source and motivation objective. So basically, it is subdivided based on is the behavior proactive or reactive? Is the behavior helping to attain a new internal state or new external relationship to the environment? The third criterion differentiates between internally aroused motives and motives aroused in response to certain circumstances. So we have got two, which is active, whether it seems to be active or passive, and further it can be subdivided into cognitive and affective. So these are the psychological motives by William J. McQuarrie. Let us understand each and every one of these motives step by step. The first cognitive preservation motive is consistency need, which is active and internal. So, this need focuses on maintaining a consistent and coherent view of oneself and the world. The aspects which are included in consistency need are beliefs, attitude, behavior, opinions, self-image, and the views of others. Reduction of cognitive dissonance is a common motive of this category. And next we have attribution need, which is active, and this need is external. Attribution need focuses on understanding and inferring cause of various occurrences. Basically, humans have tendency to attribute causes of success to self and unfavorable outcomes or failure to the outside world or someone else. Attribution theory is an attempt to explain consumers' need to attribute who or what causes things to happen. This approach to explaining the reason consumers attribute certain meanings to other behaviors. Consumers often view ad messages or salesperson's advice as having sales motive and tend to discount this. So they do not basically believe in the ad messages or salesperson. However, if a friend gives the same favorable message or the advice about any product or service that he or she recently used it, it is attributed to a desire of being helpful and might be viewed favorably. And the third one is categorization need, which is passive, and the categorization need is internal. Consumers have a need to categorize complex information in order to organize and to understand it very easily. So, understanding complex information can be made easy only if it is understood properly and it is in an organized manner. If there is too much of information and almost every day we are exposed to new experiences, so we have to need to establish distinct categories that facilitate processing large amount of information. For example, there are different price ranges of computer notebooks. Some are above 1 lakh, some others are priced below 1 lakh, which is above 80,000 rupees. These different price ranges carry different meanings because of information arranged in different price categories. And the fourth one is objectification need, which is passive and external. So the motives of this category focuses on observable stimuli or symbols that help people to draw or to come to a conclusion about what they feel and what they know. We establish impressions feelings, or certain attitude by observing our own and others' behavior, and we come to a conclusion about what one feels and thinks. The way people dress often communicates the subtle meaning of a desired image and a style. And next we have cognitive growth motives. Under cognitive growth motive, the first one is autonomy need, which is active and internal. The need for independence and individuality is viewed as an important characteristic in many cultures around the world. And people seek individuality and personal growth through self actualization and development of distinct identity. This need is present among individuals in all cultures, only the degree of intensity varies from culture to culture. So, this is one way of expressing this need for autonomy is that consumers acquire or possess products that are considered as unique in some way. So, they basically want to draw attention by having the possession of any materialistic product. Next is the stimulation need. So, stimulation need is active need and it is external. This need focuses on seeking stimulation through new circumstances or exploration. Consumers indulge in variety seeking just for the sake of change or just to change a brand to satisfy this need. And it is also interesting to note that consumers exposed to too much change desire stability, and those in stable environments seek change to escape boredom. So if a person is bored by using the same product, he may feel monotonous, and as a result, just for the sake of to experience new feel or to get that new feel, he may try out new products that are available in the market. And next comes the matching need. And matching need is a passive need, and people are motivated to create mental images of ideal situations according to their perception and on an ongoing basis match their perceptions of actual situation to these ideals. This leads to change in the behavior and results are compared in terms of progress towards desired ideal state. For example, consumers may compare new model car to their ideal car rather than other brands in the same range. And the fourth motive under cognitive growth motive is utilitarian need. Utilitarian need is passive, and it is external. This motivation focuses on the need to make use of different sources of information in the external environment for one's advantage. This theory views the consumer as a problem solver. So, utilitarian need basically looks at consumers as problem solvers who consider situation as opportunities to gain useful information and new skills. For example, many consumers go around doing window shopping to learn about prices and new trends in clothing styles. So necessarily not they may not be necessarily went for shopping to basically buy any products. They went to window shopping just to understand the price ranges that are available in the market. And next we have affective preservation motive. Under affective preservation motive, the first motive is tension reduction need. Tension reduction need is active and it is internal. People are faced with various situations in their daily lives. When their needs are not fulfilled, they are going to be uh, dissatisfied, causing undesirable stress and tension. And people feel to avoid or reduce tension. For example, some person avoid buying new brands. So, because there is uncertainty, they are not sure about what is going to happen if I buy this product, and they are not sure as to whether this is a credible brand or not. And the second need is self-expression need. So, self-expression need is active need and it is external. This need deals with projecting one's identity to others so that the others know who they are, what type of products they use, and make statement about their lifestyle. So basically, people are trying to grab the attention of the world through the products that they use. Purchase of different types of products such as clothing and automobiles allow consumers to project an identity as these are viewed as possessing symbolic meaning. And the third need is ego defense need. This need is a passive need and it is internal need. This is another important motive and concerns the need to protect oneself from social embarrassment and other threat to self-concept. For example, consumers who are highly self-monitored avoid social risk in case of social physical products and they try to buy well-known brands to avoid any chance of making socially incorrect purchase. And the fourth need is reinforcement need. Reinforcement need is passive need and it is external. People often experience strong motives to behave in certain manner. Basically, in order to behave, because their previous behavior might have brought certain rewards in similar situation. This is what the theory of instrumental conditioning emphasizes as well. For example, many sales promotions such as contests and sweepstakes bring tangible rewards for consumers and excitement to all the participants. And next we have affective growth motives. The first need under effective growth motive is assertion need. Assertion need is an active need and it is internal. This need leads one to compete, achieve success, achieve success, and to conquer admiration. For those having this kind of motivation, dominance, accomplishment, and success are important. Many nutritious products are promoted on this theme. And next we have affiliation need. This need is active need and it is external. People seek acceptance, affection, and warm personal relationship with others. So that is quite common in human beings. Group membership is important to most people in their lives, and to fulfill this need, they observe group norms, including purchase decision. Many commercials of soft drinks focus on this motive. And next we have identification need. Identification need is a passive need and it is internal. This motive drives people to adopt to new identities and roles in order to increase one's self-concept. People gain pleasure or they feel happy from adding satisfying roles and by enhancing the importance of already adopted roles. Many advertisements focus on encouraging a good host image by using certain brands. And the last motive is modeling need. Modeling need is a passive need and it is external. Modeling is major learning method by which children learn to become consumers. Children imitate their parents. Basically, their behavior of elders and learning takes place at this point of time. This also explains the tendency of group members to adopt certain behaviors approved by group members. Many ads use endorsers that are believed to be role models using certain brands to convince the consumers. So in this video, we discussed in detail about the McVeigh psychological motives and those 6 needs in detail. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell icon to get regular updates. Thanks for watching.